Well, I'm very fortunate. Lately I've been able to go back to Bristol Bay 2 or 3 times a year. I've been enjoying it because it kind of brings something back to life inside. I could feel it, something that goes dormant when I'm outside of Alaska. It's just a sense of belonging. It's just part of me. Seeing the fresh water, the clear streams, the fresh air, the salmon, the bears, the berries on the ground, everything that's natural to me in my mind that just should be there. Most of all, just enjoy being outdoors and be able to experience Alaska again. Well, I was born in Kinnickinnic, Alaska, at the hospital there. Raised there, kindergarten through 12th grade on the same school. Looking back at my childhood and growing up, there were some influential people. Of course, there were my parents. I had both sets of my grandparents growing up. Very fortunate to have a positive influence on my life. Some other people in my life that I recall, there was Trefon Anguson, who was very influential when I was growing up. Donald Nielsen was helpful to me growing up. He had taken me aside when I was a young guy working at the grocery store. He'd talk to me, tell me things that I needed to know in life and kind of just guide me. Alan Asplin Sr. was very helpful. He was a BBNC board member. Here I was, a 12-year-old young guy, and he's telling me how the board slate process works, how the Robert's Rules of Orders work, and just overall and how BBNC functions. Well, I started right after college. I went back to Naknek and worked at the local store there. And then I went from there, I worked for the Tribal Council, the Naknek Native Village, and there I was able to learn about our people and what they stood for, the values they have, the challenges that they have, the desires that they have, their goals, their mission, what they want to see in their communities, how they want it to function, how we should function, how we should help our elders, how we should help the people that need help. A lot of values were set for me early on there. And then I moved to Anchorage, and then I worked for the city of Anchorage for a while there. And then at the city, it was nice, it was secure, it was stable, but something drove me to want more, and that was working for one of our companies that BBNC owns. So at that point, in 2001, I resigned at the city. They'd throw me a nice going away party, and they're real sad to see me go. But at that point, I knew I was in the right path on heading towards working at BBNC. It was immediate. When you walk in, you almost felt like family. You just helped me out. They helped me understand how the customers work, how the support works, and how true customer service works for the company and their customer. Because if they failed, there was a big failure at the other end, and then possibly a loss of life, so it was very important. So right away, you could see that there was a focus on providing top-notch customer service and being able to be responsive and be responsible for the support that you're providing. Craig Roberts, who's very influential in my development, I had went from being a shared service provider to working on the operations side. And that was a new environment for me because I'd never worked directly on a contract before. Craig put me in the back pocket of him, took me everywhere, sat me down at the table. He allowed me to interact with contracting officers, generals, sometimes 2- and 3-star generals. There were colonels all around, and he didn't flinch, and he showed me and shared with me on how things work. Took me on trips all over the world and allowed me to participate in meetings that I would normally not participate in. Shared with me on how the customer service worked, how it was important to provide shared services, but there also should be a customer service focus on there as well. So me and my wife have been very fortunate to raise 3 girls. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. I'm treated like a king. I have to go home every day to see a great family, They're excited to see me when I get home, encourages me to work hard for the company in the daytime, and then when I get home I get to relax in a nice sanctuary that they provided for me. When I look around down in the lower 48, I listen in the woods when it's dark. I'm listening for crackling trees. I'm listening for the bears. I'm trying to smell the bears. I'm looking into the streams to see if I see salmon, and they're out there. But when I go back home, that's there. I know it's there because I was excited. On a recent fishing trip, I was there. I enjoyed the fellowship with the co-workers that I work with. I enjoyed the time-wise and the fresh water, seeing the bottom of the streams and the rivers, having been able to catch the salmon and the trout and all the other fish that are available. It's just been amazing. It's made me have a renewed interest in fishing in terms of sports fishing. Commercial fishing is my heritage, and I probably won't ever be able to do that in the near future. But a long-term goal of mine would definitely to go back and enjoy the commercial fishing side, because that is truly the lifeline of our communities. As long as the salmon keep returning, our commercial fishing will live on.